Well, a very good morning to you. Clock in the Gallop. It comes to you on a Thursday morning ahead of an Inside Track meeting today. 8 races carded on this 8th of September. We're well into the month of September, and joining me is Lyall Cooper after a very successful weekend, Lyall. On Saturday, we joined each other the last time, and I thought we tipped really well. There were some nice, interesting horses, especially when you picked up that I was smiling about Bay Suye in that last race. Do you remember that?
I do. We both loved it.
Absolutely. It was well ridden,
Absolutely
though.
loved it.
Ended off the
Very
day.
nicely written.
Yeah, very nicely written by Samanga. And I'll tell you something very quickly that you might not know is that I actually watched that race driving Andrew Bonn on the inside of the track while he was filming the race. And I was
Lovely.
driving the vehicle on the inside of that track on that road. And whilst he was filming, I was watching the race whilst trying to navigate that road. And I saw
Yes.
Basie was in contention. I was screaming at Samanga. I couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 meters away, saying, "Go
Oh,
Samanga,
jeepers.
go Samanga."
No wonder the horse shifted and nearly lost the race. Thanks, Nico.
Correct. That's exactly why. But I mean, if you want, it actually, I saw that in the Stipes report. But I actually want to go and have a look at the replay and see exactly where the vehicle was, because I think I might
Jeez,
have had
thanks,
something to
Nico.
do with that. Anyway,
Crikey, Moses.
so
So
that
was Luke Love in your car with you?
no, it was just me and Andrew.
Okay.
Me and Andrew, but it was very good. And I have to point out that the highlight for me on Saturday was the selection of the exacta with the Rarotonga Rose and Sassy,
Mm.
because we said
Yes.
you can't back Rarotonga Rose to win, but you could have taken the exacta. The exacta paid 3 Rand 20, 22 to 10, as opposed to backing Rarotonga Rose on the nose. So it's a feather in our cap again, which is good.
Well, yeah, you took the second horse, I took the third horse to beat you, and I lost the coffee.
Yeah, correct. But if you're taking us
Correct.
1, 2, 3, you catch the straight line trifectas. Those
Correct.
coffees, we need to do a reconciliation of the coffee tally.
Yes, we
Um,
do. You and I might be pretty square, but I think I'm
yeah,
still up on Neil.
I think you
Mm.
are. I think it's time that
Mm.
we went and cleaned out a coffee shop somewhere. Anyway,
I think so.
let's
Okay.
get on with today's 8 races. I've got to say that I'm reliant on you today. I haven't really looked at the card. I have a few observations in the first couple of races. Whilst I am commentating and you are presenting, so we're working together a bit later on. I haven't done too much homework on the form side. So I'm going to go to the betting, Lyle, for the first of the day, which is at Work Riders Maiden over 1,000 meters. And the scratching here is number 4, Chasin, is out. The favorite here, well, there's little to choose between number 1, Lebanese Pound, who is at 16.5 to 10, and number 5, Drop of Time at 17 to 10. Your take on this opening maiden?
I think the betting's fairly correct here, with the exception maybe of number 7, who's at around at 8 to 1. I think number 7, Heart and Mind, just might have a chance. Let me just quickly tell you why. If we go to the run, Heart and Mind ran behind Silver Clock.
Mm.
Beltway was 4.5 lengths behind Heart and Mind. If we go to Lebanese Pound, Beltway was 1.25 lengths behind Lebanese Pound on the last run. So on that, Heart and Mind has to have a little bit of a nibble on best against Lebanese Pound. After saying that, I'm leaning towards Lebanese Pound with that draw. Penicilla Mkwawa for the Paul Peter stable, third run after rest. I really like that last run. To beat Drop of Time could still be anything from that draw of one. I'm not sure if Donovan's had a winner, but maybe today's the day for him with that draw of
One.
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 Yeah.
He's had one winner.
He has. Oh, good. Oh,
Mm.
good. Lovely. Then maybe a second. And then Heart of Mind, Siabonga Mkumbuzi. What a character this chap is. I've interviewed him.
Is he?
Lovely. Yeah, he's a positive person. One day he wants to be a presenter. He loves horse racing. So, Nick, I'm going 1, 5, 7, but in the bipod, I'm putting all three of them in.
Okay, I'm going to add one to it. I'm
Okay.
going to add number 6, Southern
Number 6.
Style. The only
Perfect.
reason I'm adding that in is because Mr. Van Staden, Waiton Van
Yes.
Staden,
Waiting.
won by 8 lengths on that horse Up the Irish. And I remember, I don't know if I did the preview with you that day, but I did the preview that day. And I remember not dissing Waiton, but just saying, I'm very hesitant to back work riders that haven't won before. Now with
Yes.
Waiting by 8 lengths, when someone wins a race by 8 lengths, there's that much more confidence. He's going to go be gung
Correct.
ho here, and he's going to say, "Well, now I can show them I can win."
I can do
So,
it.
So I'm going to go for this because he did win that race for the Fortunes, and this Southern Style
Yes.
is the Fortunes, and there's been a smattering of support for it. So I don't want to go out there. I'm going to say to
No.
you in the bipods to maybe play a little bit wider than just the top two, and Lyall and
I'm happy. Nick, I'm happy.
value
1,
there.
5, 6, and 7. Let's get through the first leg of the bipod. We'll take them all.
Correct. 1, 5, 6, and 7. I quite like Southern Style. It was a bit of a value play. Okay, let's move on to race 2, which is the start of the PA, and Lyle's worked out our PA for today. I just added in 1 or 2 numbers for our take a bet. We're on a hat trick actually with the take a bet because we won the one on Tuesday. Neil did well to win the PA yesterday at Durbanville, which paid over 500 Rand with his bird.
Well done,
Neil. We're hoping that we pick up today's PA too. So race 2 is a 3-year-old graduation plate over 1,200 meters. Runs at 25 past 1. In the second race, now you can scratch numbers 5, Vantage Point, and 7, Feel the Magic. There were 7, they're now 5, but you can't help but feel that Corne Spies put a few in here to keep this race alive for profit. It definitely looks that way, that he wanted to run profit. So in order for him to keep the race alive, they had to have a field of some substance here. But he has to beat Thunderstruck, who's the short price favorite at 5 to 10, the Group 1 winner, Thunderstruck. He vied, of course, for 2-year-old Horse of the Year, but he didn't win that in that category. But, you know, it should be between those two.
Yeah, Nick, I think maybe Vantage Point and Feel the Magic woke up this morning and they realized they were running against Thunderstruck. So they pulled a bit of a hako and they said, no, we don't feel like running today. Thank you very much. Thunderstruck on paper should walk this race. That Group 1 win last time out is unbelievable. But even the maiden winners already produced 9 winners, Nico. So Thunderstruck is tip-top. Obviously, Profit is the big danger. Very, very nice last 2 efforts. And if you look at the run when Profit ran behind Thunderstruck, eased badly and switched. So did have excuses when taking on Thunderstruck. And then those 2 excellent runs behind Cousin Casey. Nico, I personally think this race will run 1, 2, 3, and 4, to be honest.
Yeah, it does have the look of that, certainly. I'd have to be with Thunderstruck because of the Group 1 win. As you say, Profit that day had no luck in the gold medallion down at Scottsville, but has run 2 good races over further. Now comes down to a 6 furlong. They're drawn 1 and 2. Profit's full brother, Iron Tail, won at the Vaal on Tuesday. So that's very interesting and very nice to see. I am definitely in the camp of Thunderstruck ahead of Profit, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's vice versa. Thunderstruck has been rested for 3 months. Profit ran at the back end of July, coming back to Joburg. It's a lovely race to get involved in, but I think I might be right in saying that they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 there. I think that could be as easy as that. Okay.
And of course, Thunderstruck is the obvious banker in the PA.
Yeah. Let's move on to the third. It's a maiden over 1450 for 3-year-old fillies. It runs at 2 o'clock. You could scratch number 1, Lady Regent, who's been injured. And then a compression mask on 2, Gimme the Flame. Cornell Collars on 3, Memorial Day. And number 10, Tanusha Star, Alamites in front, Unshod behind. Let's look at that betting. There it is up on the screen with Lady Regent out. Princess Ilaria is the favorite here at 16.5 to 10, followed by Gimme the Flame, 4 to 1, Innocence 9 to 2, and Memorial Day 11 to 2. Your thoughts on the third?
Again, I think the betting spot on here, Nico. The whole race revolves around number 8, this daughter Pomodoro for Fani Bronkhorst and Nathan Klink. What a promising debut. Unfancied, 18 runners. The time, the 23.5 to finish, unbelievable. So if she improves or even reproduces that, she will win. If she doesn't, Gimme the Flame ran a cracking race last time. In a sense, ran a nice debut and then disappointing last time. And then number 3. So I see it as 8, bank and everything, or 8, 2, 3, 6, and even a little bit of number 9. I wouldn't be ignoring, even though it's not really fancied too much. I see a bit of money coming for number 9, but the mare was quite speedy. So I'm just going to mention that one as well.
Yeah, that's Saturn in Seattle with Rachel Veneker up. Not the best of draws. Comes into 8 with the scratching of Lady Regent. Just very quickly on the form here. So I did a bit of work on this one. Princess Ilaria ran behind Queen of Smoke. who is rated as 79. So if you take that run literally, Princess Ilaria comes in with a rating of about 76 plus. So I did a little bit of the number crunching here. So if it's 76 plus, give me the Flames rated 78. Okay, so there's little between them, but Princess Ilaria's drawn 5. Give me the Flames drawn 11. And then this horse, In a Sense, you mentioned. Now, I'm quite keen on this, and I'll tell you why. Because when I liked it last time, I really liked it. That was the race that Alec Laird or Rockets Red Clay left the whole community stunned at how it won. And the odds-on favorite, ran second that day. But I liked In a Sense, funny enough, to win for Greg and Gina. And I asked Lucky before the race, I said, I really like, he said, Nico's looking for further. He said, she's definitely looking for further and watch her over further. So I'm going to take Lucky's comments and advice that day at the beginning of August as read. And I'm going to say that she'll be right on the premises In a Sense. And I think she might well be the right one here.
I like it. Sure. So Nico, why don't we go 2, 6, and 8 in the pick 6? That should be enough.
I think so. I think it could be surrounding those. I'm quite liking In a Sense, actually, for a much improved performance. And I sat and had a beer or two with Lucky after the races on Tuesday. Lucky doesn't really like his beer, so it was quite hard to convince him to have one. But I'd never actually asked him about today's racing. But I know that he's very fond of Craig Zaki as his stable rider. And he's chuffed that Craig is back riding his horses, and I'm looking for a bold performance from those two today in that race. Okay, we'll move on to race 4, which is the start of the first jackpot. It's a classified stakes over 2,000 meters. Scratch number 5, My True North, is out of this one. Number 2, Pottinger's got blinkers and no cheek pieces for number 7, Crusade to Royalty. Small field, just 6 runners over 2,000 meters. The pace is going to determine what's going to happen over here, but very, very muddling race. This is where I lost interest in the card. I've got to be honest. I studied this race for, I think it was an hour, maybe. And it was so tough. I just said, that's me done. I said, Lyall, here's the baton. Take it over. What do you think? What do you like?
Yeah, I agree. Not an easy race. My first selection, in fact, is number 4, Mirren, with Samaga Kamalo. Tongue tie goes on. I think this is going to be a big runner, third run after a rest, and obviously nicely weighted. Number 1, Sir Talon, arrives in good form. Rachel, 1.5 off the back, an obvious player. Number 3, Flag Bearer, Fani Bronkhorst, Gavin Arena, Blinker Strike, or Blinkers back on, very consistent individual. And then I've even included a horse like number 7, Crusade to Royalty, who's nicely weighted as well. And number 2, Pottinger. So I do agree with you, Nick. I think that there's a lot of chances here. The Blinker Strike on number 2, Pottinger, is interesting. I'll narrowly lean with number 4, Mirren, to cut a long story short.
Yes, so as you know, sometimes we lean towards fillies and mares in classified stakes races. So over 2,000 meters, the fillies and mares get a 2.5 kilogram sex allowance. And I think that because it's so evenly matched, Lyall, it may swing it in the fillies and mares' favor. So, there's 3 fillies or mares, and there's 3 geldings, actually. There's no colts here. Well, there's no colts. So basically, it's the boys against the girls. If I had to have a bet on who wins, and if you add up the prices, it looks like if you took betting who wins this, a boy or a girl, the betting on the boys, I think, would be favorite. I think the girls are going to win it. So I'm also thinking maybe Mirren. Mirren is good.
Maybe Mirren.
I'm slightly edging in front of the girls, even though they're the outsider of the two in terms of.
We agree.
Okay, let's move on to race 5 at 3:10. It's a fillies and mares 90 handicap. It's over 1,800 meters. And in race 5, number 3, Terror Time, and number 6, Linger No More, race with compression masks. Again, the betting is very muddling. 2 horses at 3-1, Flame Flower, Terror Time. 2 horses at 33-10, Ballroom Bliss and Princess Kesh, and then 11-2, Ideal Jet. It's all yours for this one.
Yeah, Nico, I hope the punters don't get upset with me today, because I don't like tipping horses that are favoured, but I think the betting's right here, Nico. It's just, they've all got chances here. My first selection is Terror Time. Craig Zaki for Lucky, as you mentioned, the combination. Running well, needed their last effort. This is the perfect trip. I think we'll be right there. on that last run was 1.2 lengths behind number one, Ballroom Bliss, and is 1 kilogram better off, has the draw of one, and Craig Zaki aboard. So that will be my selection. But wow, number 4, Princess Kesh, one better off with Flame Flower for a half a length beating. Number 2, Flame Flower, who really won a good race and has the 1.5 off again. Ballroom Bliss, reproduction of the last run, and even number 5, Ideal Jet, who's off a rest. But if I had to, I'd go with all 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 as my selections.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with just going a couple here. I think you've got to go all 4. I think they've beaten each other, and there's a lot of form turnarounds and that. I think you're right. I think it's between the top 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One of them will win. I'm just taking a quick look. It's again that Craig Zaki Larkus factor. I think they'll have a good day today. They've only got 3 horses together, and I think all 3 have got chances. I'm just having a quick look here at the stats for the season. I know, obviously, Craig only started riding on the 1st of September, so a week ago, because he took off from the 30th of July. So he's ridden 1, 2, 3 horses for Lucky this season.
Yes.
3 horses in the week. He rode What a Honey to a very nice win. I thought he rode that superbly well. He rode Patient Tears to a 3rd. And then he rode Namakwa Blossom to a 5th.
The first timer.
On debut, still very green.
Well, Lucky said it's way too short. Nick only said it before the race.
And Lucky said it was 1,200 meters. It needed a lot further. And the money came for it. And the money came like then, whoever backed it knew the result. But anyway, the point is that he's been there or thereabouts. I think they're the team to follow today. I've got a little bit of an inkling that maybe take the 3 Hudalarkus stroke Zaki, which is in a place treble, and even a sneaky win treble, maybe. Who knows? Okay.
3 to 1. 3 to 1 is not the worst price about a horse like Terror Time.
No.
She'll be there.
No, from a 1 draw 2. Okay, let's move on to the 6th race. Okay. 4:45 is the off time of this Fillies and Mares 76 handicap. I'm just going to go to the updated changes over here because I've now gone off that page. But in race 6, number 2, Quiet Rebellion's got blinkers, and number 5, Summerland, has got a compression mask on. Again, the top 2 in the market are the 1 and 2 runners, yeah? So favorite Quiet Rebellion at 15 to 10 with the blinkers on now, and 18 to 10 Kind Judy, and then 4 to 1 Castle Durrow, which is lurking just behind them. Give us your sentiments here.
Yeah, Nico, again, as I apologise to the patrons already, this, again, I think the betting's right. I think number 2, Quiet Rebellion, is the horse to beat. Cabello Mazziniani, Stu Pettigrew, blinkers on, dropping in class, 3rd run after arrest. Nice 3rd last time. To beat number 1, Kind Judy, who ran that run behind Oso Squishy on the poly. I mean, I wouldn't worry about that one too much, even though it wasn't that bad. 3 runs back, that second one, Rouge Allure, was an excellent run. And the time there of Rouge Allure was 111.58. So Kind Judy can do it with that top weight. That's my worry there. That's why I'm leaning towards number 2, though. The 60 kilograms has been carrying considerably less. And then a horse like Castle Durrow was half a length behind Kind Judy on the Belvard run and 1 kilogram better off. And then number 5, Summerland. I'd probably go the top 3, though. Summerland won a maiden handicap last time. So if I were to leave a horse out, I'd leave Summerland. I would go 2, 1, 3 in that order, not strong.
Yeah, not strong. Again, 2, 1, and 3 for Lyall. Now, Cabello Mazziniani is an interesting character. Isn't he riding so well? And his confidence has been, it's unbelievable to find a more confident young lad out there. But I was absolutely shocked that his only ride on the day on Tuesday was in the last race. Well, this is his first ride on the day. He has to wait to race 6. He's in again. With Keegan DeMello's whopping 5 winners yesterday. He's hit the front in the jockey race, but Mazziniani will have to wait until 3:45 to have a ride in this race. I think it's got a chance. I'm not convinced about the blinkers, but they have to do something to try and get her home. So I thought this was I thought 1, 2, and 3 like you. I thought 1, 2, and 3 were the right horses over here. But again, I bring in that Zaki with a Larkus factor, and I also bring in the fact that Kind Judy Kamala rides really well. So I say 1, 2, and 3 on the safe side. You're on the
right.
side.
We're very similar. Not easy.
Okay, we'll move on to race 7 at 4:20. 4. This is a classified stakes over the 1,600-meter trip. And in race 7, it is clear as carded. Classified stakes, as we say, favoring the fillies again, who get a bit of an allowance. I think it's 2 kilos in this instance. Silver Stardust is the favorite, even money for Paul Peter and Muzi Yeni. I don't know if you looked at Saturday's card, but I see that Muzi Yeni's not riding at all for Paul Peter. Did you see that?
I didn't notice that. Yeah. Yeah, Gavin's got a few rides for him. You're right.
Yeah. I just glanced through it, but it was quite strange to see that there was no rides there.
Interesting point.
If I see Paul today, well, I won't. I'll maybe chat to him and see what he's got to say.
Yeah.
But let's go to this betting rather. So I thought Paul Peter had the key here because I like both Goddess and Sacred Valley, with Rachel getting a little bit of weight. If she doesn't claim the full 1.5 though. But yeah, you quite like Silver Stardust, don't you?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. For me, it's between the 4 and the 6, with a mention for number 1. The 4 Silver Stardust. Nice draw, 3.5 kilograms better off with Southern Blaze. Good. I mean, this is only the 3rd run for him here in Gauteng, so to speak, and he just seems to be getting better. And we know what Paul Peter does with horses. So, tops of speed rating, drawn 3, Muzi Yeni, 3 winners from the Legislates Dance Form 9. That is the one. I think even money's probably a bit short, but that's the one. And then Sacred Valley, quite like the price about this one. In fact, I still do, 7-1.
Yeah,
that's not a bad price, as you mentioned. She's not badly weighted here. And those last 3 runs are not bad at all. We got our Mirren running earlier, so we'll obviously watch Mirren. And then obviously the one, Nico, and I do want to mention Berengaria because she is the best weighted in the field. And although I'm not sure she can beat 4 or 6 or even 1, I think she'll be thereabouts with that 54 kilogram and Samanga aboard.
Yeah, so the fillies, you've got to give utmost respect, I think, to that All Sacred Valley. As you know, Rachel's only had the 1 ride on her. And I think, with those blinkers back on, it's going to be a different story because she rode it without the blinkers. The blinkers are back on. I'm very keen on Sacred Valley at 7-1. I don't say Silver Stardust hasn't got a chance because it's obviously money favorite. What about the Southern Blaze? A quick comment on Southern Blaze at the top of the weights.
So I had a look at Southern Blaze. An excellent last win. Only got 3 points for that. 1,600 against. So up and trip this afternoon. And the 60 kilogram is what turned me onto the 4 and the 6. Drawn at 4. Nothing wrong with that last win. We'll need to reproduce that last run to win and going up and trip here this afternoon. I'm going 4 and 6 to beat the 1. But no, as you say, no surprise, Nico, if it does win again.
Okay, so 4 and 6 there are our numbers in race 7. And we move on to the 8th and last race of the day. Going there now for this merit rated 68 handicap. It's a sprint 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at what the changes are here. The updated changes quickly. If you'll just bear with me a second. In race 8, number 2, Pindam Zala, and number 8, Trust the Fire, have Alamites in front, race unshod behind, and no tongue tie for number 12, Mercer Girl. This obviously is the biggest field of the day, and therefore it's probably the toughest of the day. Save the toughest for last. Pindam Zala is a weak favorite at 4-1, with Sky Glitter up there, Trust the Fire, Stormy Lass, Baby Don't Hurt Me. They're all there. Sky Glitter, Rose Velvet. You would have studied it. I never studied. I'm not going to have an opinion. No opinion field for me.
I did study, Nico. I studied quite hard. And again, for the 7th out of 8 time, I think they've got the betting right here. It's Pindam Zala, because of the draw, is going to be my first selection. But there are a lot of form turnarounds with a lot of them. So all the horses you and I mentioned now have got winning chances. Pindam Zala, from that draw, with Jeff Saister aboard, I think that'll be there. Number 8, I definitely think Trust the Fire could be involved in this race this afternoon. Bill Human's done so well with the Son of Eightfold Path, and Gavin takes the ride for the first time from a draw of 3. But just to show you how complicated it is, on that Spielberg form line, Trust the Fire is a short head behind Pindam Zala and 3 kilograms worse off.
Sure.
So, and then number 6, Stormy Lass, also theoretically held by both number 3, Sky Glitter, and number 8, Trust the Fire. But I still think Stormy Lass has got a chance from the draw of 1. And then over the page, number 7, Baby Don't Hurt Me, Muzi for Paul Peter, Blinker Strike, and I put there with the blinkers on, Watch Out. This horse has got a lot of speed. Muzi might get to the front there and might be quite tricky to catch. And I'll stop there, Nico, because I could go on. If you're looking for a roughie, not so much a roughie, but number 1, Jet Cat, could also put up his hand and have a bit of a go here. But I thought with 61, I'll probably lean towards Pindam Zala because of those weight turnarounds. I think he's arguably the best weighted here.
I think so. You know, that good draw, it suits him. Is the course and distance will suit him from a good draw. Yeah, Jeff just needs to get him out okay. But he's ridden this horse 10 times, Jeff Saister.
Yeah.
10 times for 2 wins, a second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths. So 7 out of the 10 he's been up there. Yeah, it could well be their day. So just wrap it up for us. And the pick 6, very wide though. All right.
Yes. Well, I'll go 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and I think we'll get through. But I would not stop you taking field. We need a result somewhere.
Yeah, it has to be here, I think. But maybe.
Yeah.
For me, it's 2 or the field. I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
I'll say probably Pindam Zala or the field.
Agreed.
In the last of the day. Okay, thanks very much, Lyall. We've had a tough start when we did the show because my connections weren't great, but we've thankfully got through it. I'll see you at Turffontein a bit later, and we regroup, you and I, on Saturday, hopefully with a better card and hopefully with a few more coffees flowing around us.
Yeah, we didn't take a coffee today, but we'll chat later.
But we'll chat a bit later. Thanks very much, Lyall. All the best.
Thank you, Nico.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.